Good morning, friends. I hope you have tried the problem on your own for this problem 3 deadlock, where we have to demonstrate this deadlock issue. So in the previous video, I have went through the account class, which has got a transfer method and which is having two synchronized blocks. And then in the unit test, we have to demonstrate this deadlock issue. So let in this video, let's try to solve this problem. Okay, so let me first of all create call this transfer method where the from account can be account 2, okay, and account 1, and the amount would be say $50, 50D, okay. So if we go to so we have this account 1 and account 2. So once we create this constructor object, let me go through it again, what is happening here. So if I go here, so we have got a counter class, right? So this counter static int, which will be assigning the ID as first one, and for the second one it would be 2. So it means that the account 1 would be having ID 1 and the balance as 100D. Similarly, account 2 would be having ID as 2 and balance as 200D. Okay, and then we call this transfer method where this is the from account, which means that we're transferring $50 from account 2, which is this account 2, to the account 1. So after this transaction, we expect that account 2 would be 150 and account 1 would be incremented from 100 to 150. And in this transfer method, this is a static method which is exposed here, which will actually be creating a new thread, and then it will transfer it by calling this transfer method inside this runnable, and we just start this thread. So every time we call a transfer, it will be creating a new thread. So just take a very simple example. Just start with the only like one thread here, because we are just doing only one transaction. So let me run this now. If I run this, so it's running right now. So as you can see that, let's go through line by line for the output. Let me expand it here, because this is only one thread, right? So that's why this thread, this is the unique thread which is created, which is having by default, we are not giving any name to it. So this is having thread 0 as a name, with setting priority as 5, and which is taken from the parent thread is main. Okay, and it has acquired lock as for ID is equal to 2. So let's go to the line by line here as well. So if I go to transfer here and transfer here, so this is what is happening here. So this main thread, this thread which was created, it was because we are only creating one transaction, one transfer. That's why there's only one thread. So that's why once it executes this transfer method, it is printing this acquire method that it is this current thread is acquiring this lock with ID is equal to 2. Because if you see here, if I go here, the transfer account, the account 2 was taken. Account 2 is our from account, which is this. Okay, that's why, and account 2 is having a balance of 200D and ID as 2. Okay, if I go back again here, so here you will see that the same thing is happening. Account 2 is first thing, which is actually taking the thread or taking this block, sorry, for this, and after this it is again acquiring the lock for ID 1, which is 2 account, which is account 2, right? So this is account 2. So this is account 1, this is account 2, right? So this is how it is happening. It is the first print acquire, and after this print acquire is being done, after that it does the transaction. For example, 100 is incremented to plus amount of 50, which is 150. So this is account 1 and this is account 2, right? And similarly, we are we are subtracting this amount from the balance from this account, and then we print this transfer successful. After this, we are printing the release statement that the same thread has been releasing this lock, the 2 account, and after that this account, which is account 2. So this was single thread. That's why there was no deadlock issue. It all happened well. Now let's try to see what happens when we have got 2 threads, which means that 2 transactions are happening. And we will also demonstrate it by just changing the order. For example, let me do Control D here, and now this time I will do the from account is account 1 and the 2 account is account 2. It means that we are actually transferring this 30D. For example, I just change the name as 30. So what is happening is that this we are creating like 2 threads. The first transfer would be done from account 2 to account 1, and the second transfer immediately would be done from account 1 to account 2 of $30. Now let's run this problem now. I think this time we will end up with a deadlock. I just run this. So you can see that there is no output printed here as transaction successful or transaction not successful. Nothing is happening here. And you can also see this output here that this one thread created, which is acquiring the lock on one of the accounts, which is account 2. And another thread, because this is thread 1 here, it is acquiring the lock for account 1. And after this, nothing is happening. So this is exactly the scenario that we have discussed, that here we have got two threads, T1 and T2, because there are two transfer instructions, and they are trying to acquire locks L1 and L2. In this case, with the account from and account 2. These are the two locks that we have. So right now, what is happening is that thread 0 is actually acquiring the account from, and then it also wants account 2 to lock it, but that is already acquired by the second thread. And that's why they are both ending up with each other, waiting for the locks to be released. This is exactly happening. If I run it multiple times, it will always be having the same scenario. It will be again giving me the same deadlock scenario. Nothing will be happening. And see, thread 0 is acquiring this lock, account 2, and thread 1 is just logged on account 1, and they are waiting for each other to be releasing the lock, but nothing is happening. This is what is happening here. So thread 0, it will acquire for the first transfer, the first thread. It will. So let's go again here. So we have got two transfer, right? So transfer is like from account 2 to account 1, and then a second thread would be having from account as account 1 and to account as account 2. Okay. So here when the first thread is run, it will acquire this lock, which is account 2. Okay. And that's why it is account 2 is logged. And now it is, before it tries to acquire this lock, right? The 2 account. Before that, the second thread also runs, and it acquires this lock 1, which is the 2 account, the account first here. And that's why it is acquiring here. Now both of the threads are stuck here for both of the threads to be releasing this. And this is where the problem is happening. It is not proceeding after this. And the test, then the unit test immediately exits, because we haven't put any sleep method here. So this is the deadlock scenario that we're talking about. And we are, by writing this example, we are successfully able to demonstrate this deadlock issue. So guys, I hope that I think it's clear. Just go through this test case again, and if you run it multiple times, it will be always giving me the deadlock, because of the same scenario as we have discussed, that both the threads are waiting on the locks to be released by each other. In the next video, we'll face this problem. See you all in the next video.